Life in the Australian outback. Survival in an arid wilderness provides a profound look into the perseverance of indigenous Australians, the unique adaptations of wildlife, and the intricate web of life that exists in one of the world's most challenging environments. The outback spans almost 3/4 of Australia's landmass, encompassing deserts, grasslands, rugged mountain ranges, and scrublands. Its size and variety of terrains make it as varied as it is vast, yet it's united by a shared reality of intense heat, minimal rainfall, and a landscape that can be harsh and unyielding to all but the most resilient forms of life. Days are marked by scorching sunlight, temperatures often above 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit during summer, while nights bring a biting cold, with temperatures plunging close to freezing in some areas. This land of extreme contrasts requires complex survival strategies from every living being that calls it home. For indigenous Australians, the outback is not merely a backdrop, but a living, breathing entity with which they share a profound bond. For over 60,000 years, indigenous communities have inhabited this land, refining survival techniques that reflect an unparalleled knowledge of their environment. Their understanding of the outback is intimately tied to their dreamtime stories, a rich tapestry of spiritual narratives that serves as both cultural heritage and a survival guide. Dreamtime stories map out essential details of the landscape, passed down through generations, teaching which plants are edible, where water can be found, and how to live harmoniously within the ecosystem. These narratives are encoded with practical information. Certain formations in rock or animal behavior indicate nearby water, while specific constellations signal changes in the seasons, guiding planting, hunting, and gathering cycles. One of the most vital elements of survival in the outback is the quest for water. In a land where annual rainfall averages less than 250 millimeters, 10 inches, indigenous Australians have developed advanced techniques to locate and conserve water sources. Soaks, or rock holes, often small and hidden from the untrained eye, are essential reservoirs that indigenous people have relied upon for millennia. These natural formations trap and store rainwater, allowing communities to sustain themselves during droughts. Using knowledge passed down over countless generations, they can find hidden underground aquifers or determine locations of water based on the growth of particular plants like the mulga or coolabah trees. These native species, which often signal underground moisture, are indicators to indigenous Australians who read the landscape as if it were an open book. In terms of sustenance, bush foods play a central role. Indigenous Australians practice bush tucker foraging, a complex and sustainable system that takes advantage of the edible roots, seeds, and fruits of native flora. Spinifex grass seeds, for example, are ground into flour for bread, providing a reliable source of carbohydrates. Quandongs, bush tomatoes, and native plums are nutrient-rich foods gathered seasonally, offering vitamins essential to survival in a landscape where cultivated crops struggle to grow. Indigenous Australians also hunt animals like kangaroos, goannas, and emus, employing refined tracking methods that involve reading the land for signs of recent animal movements, from slight disturbances in the dust to faint tracks across the red sand. These techniques ensure efficient and sustainable hunting, allowing indigenous communities to thrive without depleting resources. Wildlife in the outback is as resourceful as its human inhabitants, each species equipped with unique survival mechanisms that defy the extremes of this arid land. Red kangaroos, for instance, have evolved specialized techniques to regulate body temperature in the sweltering heat. To cool off, they lick their forearms where large veins are located, cooling the blood as it circulates, which in turn lowers their core body temperature. These kangaroos are often active only at dawn and dusk, resting in the shade during the hottest parts of the day to conserve energy and minimize water loss. Other species, like the thorny devil, have extraordinary physical adaptations. Grooves along their bodies capture morning dew, directing the water toward their mouths through capillary action. This ability to gather moisture from minute sources enables them to survive in areas where rainfall is infrequent. Birds, too, have evolved impressive strategies. The emu, Australia's iconic large flightless bird, can cover vast distances in search of food and water, relying on an omnivorous diet that provides enough moisture to sustain them for long periods without drinking. Other species, like the gala and cockatoo, flock together to forage for seeds and nuts in the cooler morning and evening hours. Nocturnal animals, including marsupials like the bilby, burrow deep underground to escape the blistering daytime heat, emerging only at night to feed. These burrows provide a stable, cooler environment and are often shared by other species seeking refuge from the outback's intense climate. Reptiles, such as the bearded dragon and the desert-adapted gecko, have developed unique physiological adaptations to conserve water and withstand temperature fluctuations. Many reptiles enter a state of estivation, a hibernation-like state in response to extreme heat, where they slow their metabolism and significantly reduce their activity until conditions improve. This ability to pause life processes during unfavorable conditions is a remarkable adaptation that allows reptiles to outlast long drought periods or the hottest months of summer. The outback's resilience is now being tested by the added pressures of climate change, which has intensified droughts and introduced more erratic weather patterns. Indigenous communities are responding by blending traditional knowledge with contemporary techniques to manage the land, such as controlled burns to prevent large-scale wildfires and maintain biodiversity. This practice, known as fire stick farming, has been a part of indigenous land management for thousands of years. These controlled burns clear away underbrush, reduce fuel for potential fires, and promote the regrowth of plants, supporting grazing animals like kangaroos and wallabies. Indigenous knowledge is increasingly recognized as vital for protecting the outback's delicate balance, as their stewardship offers insights into conservation and sustainable living. Human encroachment, including mining, agriculture, and tourism, also presents new challenges. While these industries contribute economically, they disrupt ecosystems, contaminate water supplies, and disturb sacred indigenous sites. Collaboration between Indigenous Australians, environmentalists, and policymakers is becoming essential to preserve the outback's unique ecology. Indigenous voices are increasingly central in conversations about land management and climate adaptation, highlighting the importance of sustaining ecosystems that have supported life for tens of thousands of years. The outback remains one of Earth's last frontiers, a land where the beauty of survival is expressed in every rock formation, animal adaptation, and cultural tradition. It is a place that inspires awe and respect, reminding us of humanity's capacity to harmonize with even the most severe landscapes. For the people and animals of the outback, survival is an art woven from millennia of knowledge, reverence, and resilience. In a world increasingly shaped by human activity, the outback endures as a testament to nature's raw beauty and the strength of those who live in harmony with it, continuing to teach lessons of respect, endurance, and sustainable coexistence.